Welcome back to AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
How are we doing today?
Good. How are you doing
I'm
today?
doing great. Doing great. Thanks for asking. Appreciate that. Um, what are we talking about, Amanda?
Well, today we are going to be talking about being too nice. So Mark and I have both, I feel like, have been labeled as being too nice.
Labeled by society.
Um, labeled and just told. I feel like we've talked about this in the past, and still to this day, like Mark mentions to me all the time that he's just too nice of a
Yeah.
guy. Um,
We can dive into it.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into it. It's obviously good to be nice, but you don't want to get taken advantage of.
hmm
So I definitely feel like we have both been put in many situations like that. And then just being our authentic selves regardless of judgment. So,
Yeah. Good stuff. Feel passionately about that. I don't. Do you want to give some examples first? Or do you want me to start?
um,
I can start.
you can
Let me
start.
start. Okay. So quick hot takes about this is I highly agree with what Amanda said, and this was her topic, but of course, like she mentioned, it's kind of both of us that we are in the same position. So, for instance, Amanda is totally like that. She's always been the nicest person like that I've known, and just since she was, I probably said it on the show before. She's always been kind. That was always one of the big things that I liked about you, Amanda. And for me, it's kind of been similar, but I've just started to notice that, like most things in life, there's like a balance. So, for instance, I think kindness and just being nice is very important. But at the same time, like you mentioned, you can't get taken advantage of. And I've seen that almost like exclusively in business senses. Like for instance, if you this is where my mind always goes. So if you don't value yourself enough, nobody is going to value you more than that in a sense. So to break that down, if I'm trying to give somebody like a deal on something, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm selling websites. I need to make sure that I get the amount of money that my time is worth, or that I feel my time is worth, to cover expenses, to make a profit. That's what business is, right? And too many times, especially in my young time here as a very new entrepreneur, I've made the mistake of undercharging people, not charging people at all, and just all these different things. Now, again, it's early on, so it's not the end of the world or anything, but those are the types of things that resonate with me when it comes to being too nice or being too kind, because you almost are getting taken advantage of. But it's not really like the other people are asking for free shit. It's that you're screwing yourself over, right? I don't think we actually deal with too many malicious people in our lives. I think most people are pretty friendly, but the problem, I think, when you become too nice is that you're giving people too much leeway in a sense, just like that, where I mean, again, I just relate it to business, but it could be a bunch of different things. It could be in friendships. Friendships are difficult too, because you'd like to kind of have each side of it kind of pull their own weight type thing. I guess relationships as well, but that's kind of a different story. So that's just kind of my initial take on it. But I don't know, what's your kind of take on it? Why did you bring up this topic, and what are some things that you're thinking of?
Um, Number one, I come up with every topic.
Correct. Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
That's your job.
So they're all
Topic
my
picker.
topics.
Topic picker.
um, well, for me, when I really think about being too nice, it brings me back to like high school and mostly friendships. Like, just obviously people who were not, as genuine and nice to me as I was to them, or really, they weren't as much as of a good friend to me as I was to them. Um, and just I've had friendships, kind of burn in the past, and I've had people reach out to me, or I've eventually like spoke to some of those people later on in life, and they said like, "Oh, you were such a good friend to me. You were so nice and you were there for me. Like, I'm sorry that even if like there was like one small thing that I may have done to them that was bad or whatever, they forgive me and they're like, "Oh, you were such a nice friend." Blah 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 blah. So I don't know, and I just remember being young, like young. When I say young, I mean like middle school, like maybe even before, and later than that, obviously, all the way up to like high school. And I just remember my mom like even telling me I'm too nice. Like I remember like my friends were just like I don't really like remember exactly like what we would like talk about or what they would like say to me to be rude, but I remember like my one friend like we were like really young, so like we didn't know better, like we were like stupid, like not stupid, but my one friend was like hitting me with a baton and she thought it was funny. And I just remember always feeling like really low, like really like below them. Like they were always above me. Um just getting like extreme. No, but I just remember that's what I think. That's really what I think about being too nice. It's like it sounds so simple, but I just remember like um funny story. So I like barely remember this, but my one friend, I will not say anyone's names. It's in the past. I was in high school. My one friend, she's still dear to my heart this day. We don't talk, but dear to my heart. Am I like a grandma?
Yes.
But she's still very like dear dear to me to this day. We do not talk anymore just because of whatever. Um, but we were at the lunch table in like middle school. I think like 7th or 8th grade. And she like smacked me in the face because she thought it was funny. And like I don't remember why. So this was the first time I smacked her right back and and like stuff like that didn't happen. Like it's not like my friends and I just slapped each other. Like it's not like I ever got into a fight or anything. But I smacked her right back and I remember just feeling like, yeah, you think I'm not going to do do it. That was just like kind of like a funny thing. But yeah, I growing up, I feel like I let a lot of people take advantage of me, and I think it's hard to grasp that when you're young because you don't realize that that's like what you're doing. You just think you're being nice and a good friend to them, and you don't really realize that like how bad it is for you almost. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I was definitely in similar situations, I guess, in high school. I think that, immaturity plays a huge role in kindness, and everybody's trying to like, especially when you're in those positions in high school, college, and like I mentioned, immaturity. People are trying to almost assert their dominance as like a little high schooler, and probably what I would imagine in your school and your cliques, there was a group of girls or a group of guys, in my instance, and if it was more of like, I don't want to say popular, but like people that you would almost put people down to make you feel like you were ahead of somebody. And I think that was the big thing that I remember seeing here and there, and that just leads to
Yeah, and I don't think I ever did that. Like, so.
yeah. Well, I think some people are just less of that.
I mean, I'm sure there's been times I like made fun of someone with my friends or something. But I don't think I like ever was like rude to people. Even today, like even now today, like there's some people that people aren't friends with, but I'm friends with, even if they're a little weird or a little something, because I'm not gonna, or not, I won't say weird, even if they're like a little different than me, I'm still gonna be friends with them
Mm-hmm.
or cool with them. If they're a nice person, then they're a nice person. Like I've always been about straight up genuine niceness. Like honestly, that's like my thing. I feel like I've always been for that. Like just a genuine nice person. Like I don't know. I feel like people don't get that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like I've always Like, I feel like, you know, you like think about yourself and like what you are. I feel like nice has just always been one of my things. Like, I'm nice.
I'm nice.
Like,
Uh,
I'm a nice, I don't know.
I think there's a more interesting, almost interesting conversation about that specifically too. Is why did you feel like you were going to be nicer than other people, for instance, right? I think a lot of times, if we take it back to the high school type thing, there's a lot of bullies, just people that are upset. And
Yeah.
that's why, as they're upset with their home life or they're upset with other things that are going on, and they displace that aggression onto other smaller kids in high school. And that
Smaller
is,
kid.
well, I mean, yeah, just smaller in size or smaller in mindset or something. I mean, what, like just people that are weaker in some sort of way, the nerd, the small kid or whatever. And I didn't really see too much of that go on while I went through school, but you could still kind of see it. Like, you just always see the cliques and you always see that sort of stuff. And I don't want to go crazy like in like high school. Maybe that's a different topic for a different time, but that is something that's very evident. Is the deeper question is maybe how do you become nice, or what is the if there's a scale, measurement of not the meanest person on earth and the kindest person on earth, how do you go more towards the kindness? And I think a lot of that comes from what you have in your life.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't know though. I don't. Yeah.
I feel like there are some people who are just genuinely not nice. And like sometimes it's not even like horrible. Like it's not like they're super mean. They're just like not nice.
Yeah.
Like if that makes sense. Like some people are just naturally like I've had friends like they're a bitch. Like they know they're a bitch, They label themselves as a bitch. Sometimes I feel like they like being a bitch. Like they think it's like maybe they think it's cool to be a bitch. Like I think so. I think they do.
Probably. I mean, there's a lot of nuances to it. I would assume it's probably more. Again, I try to always go back to the root cause of what it is, and maybe it's parenting, maybe it's the way that they grew up, all sorts of different things. But also probably another big thing, and
Or maybe it's just that they're a bitch.
I mean it could be, but how do you explain it is what I'm saying. Like they weren't like when they were 2, they might not have been a bitch.
Born a bitch.
So it's
they
like how
probably were.
yeah. Maybe they were a toddler bitch. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Little bitch of a
No,
toddler.
I'm not saying they were a bitch, but maybe they were a sassy toddler.
Could have been.
I don't know. I mean, no, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, but also I just feel like I don't know. Yeah, I mean it definitely has to do with stuff.
Right. But again, though, it's all you can kind of see just from that. It's all in moderation, right? We're talking about one end of the spectrum where it's mean bitchiness, and the other end of the spectrum where it's almost like just yeah, sure, yes, like Yes Man. That's actually a good movie, and it's extremely pertinent. It's with Jim Carrey. Have we seen this movie? I don't know. I can't remember. I watched it once, I think. But Yes Man, you go through your life and you're always saying yes, yes, or actually no. I think it's opposite in that movie. It's no, 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 never does anything, and then he has to say yes to everything. Regardless, though, it's kind of a good illustration. You can't be all no's. You can't be all yeses. You can't be a total bitch. You can't be a total sucker, right? And total like kind. I mean, I guess you could do anything, but I always think that with most things, you want to try to balance that out and be in the middle, because if we parlay it over to that other side where it's yes versus no rather than mean versus kind, that's a real problem, right? That's something that I struggle with all the time is we can tell the story. I don't know, we might have told it before, but the fucking story on the cruise with the massage thing. It's like, this is a bad story because Amanda
We've
doesn't.
told it before.
We've told it before, but the cliff notes.
Okay, I have to tell it. It's
Okay,
really funny, but I hate
She hates it.
I hate this story.
It's a low point. It's a low
It
point.
kind of it honestly just makes me angry. It's like exhausting. It's exhausting to have to tell this. I'm being honest with you. Like I tell people it all the time, but I have to say it really fast because it just angers me. Okay. We're going to start from the very beginning. So, this was our second cruise that we went on together, I believe. And I've always wanted to get a massage, so I thought it would be a good idea if we got a massage together. which I really didn't know what to expect from that, but I thought we would both just be getting a regular massage and it would be nice. It would be nice.
Begged me to get this massage. I could have gone without it.
I did, because I've never got a massage
I was like,
before.
how do I have to schedule this? How do we do this? Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he took forever to schedule it too. Anyways, so we get the massage, and yeah, it's a $300 massage. Expensive.
Really?
No, it was.
No, I think it was 2.
It was it was on the Carnival. I'm sorry, it was Carnival Cruise Line, shitty cruise line. We like Royal Caribbean, way better. But we get the massage, and while we're getting the massage, it's fucking painful.
I thought it was nice.
I didn't realize it was a Swedish massage. Well, Mark signed us up for a Swedish massage. We thought it was regular, but I guess
I still don't know the difference.
Yeah, Swedish massage is a deep tissue massage. And I don't know what the regular one is, but anyways, we got a deep tissue Swedish massage. So, it was painful for me. I wonder though if I would like it now, because they say when you are like athletic or you work out or you exercise, it like is good for that. So I don't know if it would make any difference now, but it was fucking painful. And that was back when I didn't like do anything besides watch TV. So I was like almost embarrassed. Like while they were massaging my back, I was in pain. And they're like, "Oh yeah, like you don't do anything. So this is why it hurts your back." And I'm like, "Well, fuck. Like can you just massage it regularly? Like I know we paid for the other one, but like what the fuck?" And okay, I don't know about anyone else, but it's real awkward when you are getting a massage with your boyfriend and like you're like both naked and like we're not naked. Did we have underwear on? Yeah, we had underwear on. Just underwear, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I obviously didn't wear my bra because they were massaging my back.
But
anyway,
you have a towel. You have a towel.
That doesn't matter. You still have like a wiener, and that's awkward for me when there's like another girl massaging your back, and we're both laying there like not fully naked but naked. So that was also just weird for me.
We're every detail. Yep. Every detail. Let's try to get back to the actual point part.
Do it again? I don't know. So the massage is over, and it was very quick, So Mark and I are in the room for like a very short period of time. And he says to me, "They're going to try to upsell you. They're going to try to upsell us. Don't do it. Don't let them upsell you." I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it. They come back into the room, and the girl is talking for like less than 2 minutes. And this is his problem. Is this the whole reason we told the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the point. Yeah.
The 2 nights. Okay. Mark has a fucking problem. Like, this is just a small example. Like, if like someone wants to give him food and he's not hungry, or like he will eat it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not hungry, or he doesn't like it. He's not sure how he feels about it.
Yeah.
No, he will eat it, even if he like. This is just a small example. There's been like multiple times. This is back when. This is a while ago. We were at my aunt and uncle's house, and I know he wasn't hungry, and I know he didn't want the food. But when they would offer it to him, he would eat it just to be nice. And it's like, say no. So the lady's like, "Oh yeah, like I don't know. She listed a bunch of stuff, and Mark knows more details because I wasn't even fucking listening to what she was saying. And then all of a sudden, he buys this $100-some freaking lotion.
It's a little different.
It wasn't lotion. It was like oil that they put on our back. What was it?
They came in with 3 receipts. They came in with just the massage. They came in with like some sort of starter pack thing, and they came in with the high end shit. And I went with the middle one to be nice, but shouldn't have. Should have just got the massage and got the fuck out.
So it was already on a receipt.
They gave you 3 options. It was like, okay, here's the massage, here's that receipt, or here's this thing that they sold you on or whatever, and then here's like the extra thing. So it's 3 options. It was probably like $200 just for the massage, $300 for the first thing, $400 for the second thing, or some shit.
Well, I don't know. They basically offered him lotion, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that one. We'll do that one." And I knew it was bad when he did that. I'm like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" So I'm like, "Okay." And like he was already annoyed about the massage to begin with, which was really irritating. So we leave. we leave the spa area of the ship and we walk back to our room. And while we're walking back, he honestly, he just started spiraling out of control. Like, this is how I remember it. Oh my gosh, I can't. So he just starts yelling at me about how we shouldn't even have got a $300 massage. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, well, why did you, like, I said, we immediately after we left, I said, why did you buy that lotion? Why did you do that? And he's just like, he was so mad at himself that he started screaming at me, like actually screaming like he was mad. And I've never seen him like that before. And I'm on vacation with his family and his family only. So I'm like, I feel like it was already maybe getting a little tense between us because you just like weren't into vacationing or something.
Yeah, it's tough for me to vacation for extended periods of time.
It was just, it's all a blur now, our 2 cruises that we went on. Anyways, so we get into the hotel room and he's just freaking out and blah, 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 like literally screaming at me. And then his sister and her boyfriend come in and we're like screaming at each other. And they're like, what the fuck? No, I'm sorry, but if we ever had a fight, this was a fight.
Yeah, I was definitely the biggest,
This
probably,
was a
but
fight.
I wasn't throwing anything. I didn't fucking.
No, I never said you were throwing it. No, this was a fight. Like, it was so bad. And over the lotion he bought, it's so stupid. So then he goes and gets a shower because he needs to wash. They put lotion on us or whatever. So he needed to wash the $100 lotion off him because he was sticky. So he had to go take a shower. And yet he bought the fucking lotion. Like, what the fuck? So I literally went on the balcony and like cried my eyes out and looked out at the ocean and
All dramatic
as fuck, and was like, I couldn't text my family or friends because I was in the middle of the ocean. And I was like, I'm going to jump overboard.
Piece of shit.
So finally I went and talked to him and
then I went and returned the lotion.
He basically said that it was because he wants to save money for our family and da-da-da-da-da-da, family and whatever. So he doesn't think we
say that?
Yeah. You want to save money for our family and
I was probably doing my classic relate that to a bigger scenario.
Us building a life together, so you don't think we should be dropping that much money on massages. Which was cute, but it was also just like kind of really annoying because, I mean, I get that, but every once in a while it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, no, that was I to wrap that up. Yeah, that's I fucked that up. Shouldn't have gotten sold. Again, that's the point of it. To wrap that story up,
he was being way too nice and just bought the fucking lotion when he shouldn't have.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
He let the little ladies
they're talking in fucking
lotion.
Brazil, Portuguese, and Colombian. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
So he probably didn't even understand what they were saying.
Whatever. Doesn't matter, but yeah. So I'm glad Amanda told that long story. I
didn't mean for it to be that long.
That's an important point though, because again, that was a classic move of being sold, and it's fucking shitty. Actually, it's funny because it just happened to me again today. Somebody reached out to me on Facebook from a podcast group that we're in. And it was kind of the same type of thing. They're like, hey, do you want to this, and this? And it's easier when it's online because you can kind of see right fucking through them. But like when somebody's like in your face trying to sell you stuff, I just hate that. I hate being sold on things. It's so difficult for me, like I said, and like we've explained there, to say no. And I think I've gotten better, but yeah, it's just a difficult thing.
It's kind of like, I think of it as when you're walking through the mall and people used to...
Oh, fuck, I hate that.
I don't think it's as bad because of COVID, but people used to try to...
I just had it happen.
I just keep walking and say no, thank you. Like, no, it's like just when basically like if I walk through a scare house, just keep walking, don't look at them. Like, just keep walking and do not look at them. Do not look at them.
Yeah, it's fucked because I don't want to be rude, but at the same time, I don't need.
No, just keep walking.
I don't need that.
I feel bad for those people.
I don't need a shoe shine. I don't need anything.
No, I feel bad for those people because I straight up just keep walking. I will not look at them because, not to be rude, it's just because I feel like in years past I would have talk to them and it's just a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't tell you how many times I went to the straightener place.
The straightener.
The straightener area, and they've curled my hair and did this, and it's very nice, but I can't sit there and talk to them forever. I'm pretty sure the brand straightener I have is still, no, I'm sorry, I finally switched over, but I used to actually have that straightener at the mall. Anyways, yeah.
Good.
So, um, but then obviously this goes hand in hand. So I feel like, just taking it back a little bit, being too nice. Well, from what I said, I was too nice and I would get taken advantage of by like bullies or whatever. Not like bullies, but people who were just, not the best of people. So I think, and then there would be like certain things that I would do that people would judge me for. So I think that was really hard. Like I can't really pinpoint exactly what I mean right now as I'm saying this, but like I feel like that kind of comes back to like being yourself. Like I was thinking about this while I was thinking about this topic. Like I feel like this is like this is like an anxiety thing. But like if I would text my friends too many times in a row, I would like get worried about like what they would think or what they would say, or like texting people certain things. Like what are they going to think of me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've come a long way just probably in the past like 2 years, but obviously since high school, but I feel like really in the past 2 years of just like being myself, like being straight up myself, like not thinking twice about what I say to this person and what they're going to think. Like I said, I think I'm like very weird. Like I really like I think this is a weird thing. If anyone can relate to this, let me know. Um like I might have mentioned I think I might have mentioned this to you like once before, but like literally like about like saying something to someone at work and then them like thinking, I don't even know. Like just weird anxiety about like what people will like think of me. It's weird.
I mean, I think it's somewhat normal.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people feel like that to some degree. I don't think it's weird for you. I have definitely felt like that in the past. I try to not do that anymore because I just people also. So I give the answer. I just don't care. Like I just don't give a shit type thing about certain issues or certain things. And people have come back. It's like, oh, it's easier for you to say that, and because it's easy for you to say this thing because you just do whatever you want. You don't care. Well, it's sorry, fuckers. Like I don't care. Like it's like that easy because I I think really what we're kind of alluding to here, what we're hitting on, and what I mean, it's a bigger thing of the stuff that I preach, you preach, we preach here on this on this podcast. It's giving your all, making sure that you're doing the things that you love, making sure that you're being true to yourself and the authenticity, and that's what we're all about. And the reason that it's so important to establish that is because I think when a lot of people are young, you're going through high school, you're going through college, you don't really know who you are yet. You know who your friends are, you've been going through some certain things. Maybe you're trying to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. There's a lot of shit going on. Once you get out of there, for example, I've talked to a lot of kids in college over on Fueled by Progress and just in general, like in my social media time. What I've noticed is a lot of them don't know where the fuck they're at, if that makes sense. Like they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they want to do, which is fine, right? Because you're still young. But the point that I'm making is there's something that happens. What I've noticed specifically between like the ages of 20 and 25-ish, because we're almost there, it's like you change a lot, especially if you're trying to change. And I don't mean change like your whole persona. I actually mean more like going from not knowing where the fuck you are to having an idea, having a plan, and trying to understand who you are. And when you understand who you are, life just gets so much easier because then you don't give a fuck. Like, I don't like saying that because it has a negative connotation, but I really do like saying it because it's so cathartic. It's like, I don't care what other people think of me. I'm going to do what I know is best. And for 99.9% of people, that mentality would just change their lives because when I say that, because here I'll give you a bit of anxiety type thing, like caring about what other people say. When I say I don't give a fuck, what I mean is that I don't care what you think of me. I know that what I'm doing is productive. I know that it's healthy. I know that I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to help other people. What I'm concerned about when I say I don't give a fuck and people hear that, I'm concerned that people think I don't care about other people. I'm doing malicious things. I'm doing all this sort of stuff. I'm like rebellious or whatever. And that's not the case, obviously, at all. So that's kind of a difficult thing sometimes for me, like you said. But at the end of the day, there's probably a better way to say it. But when you settle into who you are and you be your authentic self, and you just want to share what you know, help people, or just even stick to yourself and do whatever you want to do, it's life changing, because then you end up knowing really where you're gonna go and the things that you want to do. So I can't remember exactly how I got on that rant, but those are my overall thoughts that I always say. So
Um, well, I was thinking about just I feel like I was going to say more, but one thing I was going to touch on is like Instagram.
yeah,
Um so
Instagram's a fun one. Yeah, that's very
so I feel
pertinent.
like I've just thought about this recently, and I think maybe cuz we watched the social media, what is it called? The
Social
Social
Dilemma.
Dilemma. Social Dilemma.
Yep.
It's a documentary on Netflix.
Netflix. Yep.
On Netflix. I just so or I heard this somewhere else. It was probably Mick Zazon. Um, do you ever notice on Instagram that I feel like for girls at least, it's always like the girls and their friends or like a selfie, and then you think of like a classy caption, and I feel like the caption is like such a big deal. Um, I think this might just be like a girl thing, but I never realized until literally like recently the other day. I mean, I always knew this, but I was thinking it's like, what filter you put on your picture. Okay, like obviously I do the filter because it makes the picture look nice, and that's fine. Not a big deal. I'm not like against filters or anything. Like I have no problem with that. Like obviously I've posted a filter. I mean a non-filter picture sometimes it doesn't matter to me. I post a non-filter picture if it doesn't if it like I think it looks good, or if I want to do a filter, or of course I've done the classy like no hashtag no filter, no makeup,
Yeah.
whatever. But and then like sorry, I like totally lost what I was saying. And then just posting it, it's like I feel like we're all doing the same things. Like everyone is posting it with like a classy caption of like whatever. I just feel like it's all like the same. So, recently I like literally posted like a TikTok of okay, I did a duet with like Mick Zazon, and I was like dancing with like my stomach rolls out and stuff. That was like seriously way out of my comfort zone. And I've obviously been posting more like I guess fitness posts, as you can say. Um, you know, just me and my, like workout outfit or whatever. And then I've posted like a couple pictures of just like me with my normalized normal body shirt with my tummy hanging out. So like I'm not saying it has to be all about like, normalizing normal bodies or like you know, praising that sort of thing like what I'm doing. But I just think like it just made me like I posted a photo of myself yesterday like after my workout, and like I thought for a second like that could use a filter. But then I'm like, no, because I wanted to say I have like a sweaty glow and I wanted it to be like real. So I just feel like, I don't know, I want to start posting more like just real stuff. And I feel like that sounds very like broad, but like I just want to start posting more real stuff. I don't, I obviously still post the pictures with my friends with the classy caption, but I guess I just never realized how almost like fake it is. Like not fake, but it's just like a world. I feel like it's just like a world of like, like people's lives don't really look like their Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't like a Instagram
Yeah.
Instagram whatever. I really thought about that. And oh, and then to get back to it, judgment, because you're worried about judgment. So if I post this and this looks bad in my picture, what will this person think? Or, oh, a big one for me is the likes. I've deleted pictures because it didn't have enough likes.
Yeah.
And that's horrible.
Yeah. You can't
Like,
give a shit about
who
that.
cares?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, oh, I thought that was such a good one. Like, I can't believe only this many people liked it. Like,
Yeah.
that's definitely not like recently, but I have like recently-ish done that. So that's like
Yeah, I mean, we talked about social media, I think, on 2 episodes ago or something.
yeah.
So we don't want to go super into it, but it does have a place here, I think, and you hit on a lot of good points. What I'll say about Instagram is it's definitely plastic in a sense. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
manufactured, it's doctored up. You can literally manufacture a look on Instagram. You can take a picture of yourself. You can add different filters. You can lighten it, darken it, all that sort of stuff. And that definitely has a place. I think that it makes sense in certain applications and everything like that. And there's no reason that you should say that people can't do that. The one thing that is really important, though, when you go on any sort of social media, specifically Instagram here, is that you have to remember that that is the case. You can't be just endlessly scrolling and seeing all of these happy faces and cool things and people in different, Punta Cana and on cruises and all this other stuff and just think, oh, wow, everybody's life is so great. You can't think that because it's just not realistic. Like, in the back of your mind, that's not the case. And just a couple things maybe that I've started to do on social media. One, I've started to not give a shit, like you said, about likes and stuff like that. I've tried to post just a shit ton more about the things that I'm doing, trying to be, like you said, authentic, try to show everything that I'm doing, the real sides of things. Because here's the thing. Think of it like this. In a world, like a little ecosystem like that, that's so fake, or not necessarily fake, but like can be totally doctored up like that. People like they'll see a real thing and they'll be, that's a little weird. Like weird as in like that's strangely good. It's like almost like a good thing, right? It's like
Yeah, well, that's how I feel about the stuff I've been posting.
Right. So
and I don't know. I don't know if there's actually a lot more of that right now, or if I just get I see a lot of that type of content.
yeah.
That's because they're targeting me.
There you go.
But I love it. I love seeing it. I mean, I'm glad they're getting to me.
Yeah.
They're getting to me.
They know the algorithm. The algorithm
they know,
got.
but
The
it's
algorithm
working,
has you.
and I love it.
Yeah. Well, again, that all that aside, I mean, if you're looking for the right things and you're interested in like good things and more of that's coming to you, I don't think that's a bad idea. But again, you just made the point there, and that's the reason that you like the normalized normal bodies thing and mixed saison and all that sort of stuff, because those are things that you probably saw, that you probably went through your timeline or your Instagram feed for a long time, and you were like, oh, that's cool, whatever, like that looks nice, I wish I was there, yada yada, whatever. And then you stumble upon something like that where it's like normalized normal bodies, and you're like, that's weird. Weird as in strangely positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like strangely something that's you're not used to seeing, but it's a good thing, right? It's very original, it's very genuine. And I think that the world needs more of that, because again, while it's cool to have nice, beautiful pictures and beautiful things like that on occasion, I think you also you're definitely you're selling yourself short, and you're kind of misleading people when you don't put things that are also real, maybe sprinkled in there at least. So that is, that's tough. But I mean, again, that's whole social media, because social media is really bad in some ways and it's really good in other ways, because it has literally allowed anybody to manufacture like a life for themselves in a sense, right? We wouldn't be able to podcast without that sort of stuff. You wouldn't be able to start businesses through social media. And it's just, again, it's a moderation type thing, everything right in the middle of like good and bad, positives and negatives. And I think that's kind of where that all tends to lead. But it definitely does play a big role in authenticity, judgment, really kindness too, because there's so much that goes on there with, like you said, judgment, like bullying and things along those lines. But I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Just try to continue to do it as best as we can, navigate through it and everything. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking about was maybe me more than you. I don't know. I feel like I do not have a filter. I don't really know. I wouldn't say you necessarily don't have a filter, but I would say you're very real. Like you kind of like tell it like it is, but not like in a bad way. Like you're just honest with people.
Yeah. What are you saying about filter though?
Well,
Are you saying that I don't have a filter?
no, that came out wrong.
It
So,
sounded like you said, it sounded like you said I do have a filter and then describe me in a way as which I don't have a filter.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, I was just thinking like I feel like I don't have a filter.
Right.
I would say pretty much with almost everyone. Just like I say what I mean. Like I feel like this is totally just coming off wrong. For me, I feel like I like will just like talk about like vaginas or something randomly and like not care, like something stupid like that. But I will say I meant like blunt. Like I don't have a filter, but I meant more like blunt. Doesn't blunt mean like
Blunt means straightforward, yeah.
yeah, when you're like straightforward and real with people and you're just honest and you tell them like it is, but I do it in like a nice way. I feel like I don't know.
You're truthful, you're honest, but
Mhm.
you're also straightforward. Yeah. Is that what you're trying to say? Like you want to provide an example, or are you trying to compare yourself to me? Like you said me in the beginning there.
No, I wasn't comparing. I was comparing us to each other. I feel like we're very similar in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean we're gonna say what we most of the time.
Yeah, like
almost
say if
all
like
the time we're gonna say what we
a
feel.
friend, like you had a friend that like had an issue or something and was just like I feel like you would just tell them like straight up like this is what you should do, blah blah blah,
Right.
even if they didn't like it.
I mean, yeah, there's options. You could lie, but lying is never a good answer. So the truth is always the best, even if it hurts or if it's, not the easiest to do.
Well, I would say for us personally, in our relationship with each other, I would say there's been a lot of times where you've been honest with me and it was hard for me to hear, or it was just tough for me to hear that you like thought that way about something.
Right.
And I think that's why like our relationship has really continued and been this like amazing, because I feel like we're both but my god.
Boast.
I feel like I'm like glitching.
She's glitching out.
I feel like in the past,
She's in
like
the fucking Matrix.
this ever since
I'm dating a fembot.
I feel like ever since I said what is that called?
Blunt.
No, what I said before that.
No, you were saying. I know what you're talking about. You were saying classy though, and I thought you were glitching back then too, because I've never heard the fucking term classy caption. I don't know what that means.
Classy?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Like classy is in like
Classy
like we're classy, but that's not what that means. I don't see the. Doesn't matter.
That's weird. When I said that I have no filter, I feel like ever since I said that I've been like glitching, like I can't get my words out. What was I saying?
Boast. Both of us, or something. You're saying both of us, yes. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we are both super honest with each other about anything. I feel like honestly we haven't had like an issue, not like an issue, but I feel like we haven't had like something that's been like bothering us with each other in like months. And
I could think of two actual, maybe I would honestly say 1.5 actual issues / fights. The half was mine and the one was yours. The half was the lotion.
I'm not talking about our whole relationship.
Oh, well, I was talking about our whole relationship. I've never been in 4+ years. I have never even like almost been upset in a sense. Like, I mean, I've been upset at myself. I've been like, like little things, but like I don't understand it actually at this point. Like, I don't understand how we are working this well together, if that makes sense. We're going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I think it's whatever the fuck. It's our show. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand how other people in relationships fuck up so bad and are constantly mad at each other and like, oh, if you're not fighting over things, then you're not working. I don't actually even believe that. Like, if you believe strongly about something, you should probably fix it. But like, people actually fight.
Well, let's get
like,
back
we're talking
to
fist fight.
let's get back to the point. So I feel like when people say it's okay to fight, they mean it's okay to be brutally honest with each other and like talk it out. Well, they call that fighting. Like, sometimes they are fighting. They might be yelling at each other, but they're being honest with each other. And I wouldn't say it's okay to fight because I only don't say that because we don't call it fighting. We call it like having a discussion, like talking it out. Even though sometimes we might be a little upset or like angry or whatever, we don't really call it a fight. But I would say the last time we had a quote unquote fight was when like the quarantine was really bad and I was flipping out and Mark was like all calm and I didn't know what to do and I was a mess and that was really hard. That was a big test on our relationship and I'm sure it was a lot harder for people who actually lived together. Actually, I think that would have made our situation easier. This is just a small thing. We live separately, so we would have to go to each other's houses and then you're supposed to be social distancing, quarantining and yada yada yada. So that was hard for me at first because I'm like, okay, aren't we on like a lockdown? Like, I didn't realize we could like go places. Like, it sounds really stupid now, but
Well, it might happen again, so we'll see.
I will.
We don't give a shit.
I mean, I care. That's a whole nother thing. But I think
different episode.
Just us being completely honest with each other and talking things out. Obviously, people can't get past the things that they disagree on, so I feel like that's a big thing. But yeah, we're just very honest and nice people.
Yeah, it's important.
And we try to not care if people judge us. And that's it. End of the episode.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I guess it's just important to be yourself. And I don't think you really realize how important it is to be yourself or what being yourself even is until you're like, one day you just realize, oh, this is it. This is who I am. This is myself. And that's weird because I may think this is me. And then next couple years, I might be like, oh, yeah, look back at me. I don't know. I always think back to high school. I feel like there was like a year or something that I really found myself. And I was just like, wow.
I think that was way.
This is who?
That was way too early.
This person is. No, it might have been like when I realized I shouldn't let people like judge me. Like, I was just like, I'm going to do me. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do things that'll make me happy. I just remember I get very overwhelmed and stressed easily with, like, stupid things. And I feel like I was just like, just need to calm down and realize, I'm going to take my time and take it slow. And I don't know if any of this is making sense, but it's crazy the things that you think of in your mind. And you're just like, do people understand this? I'm sure they do, but.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up. Kind of puts a nice little bow on it.
Nice bow.
Yeah. Just be nice. Don't get stepped on. Be yourself and all that jazz. I don't want to keep making that a thing, so we should stop saying. That's the last time you'll hear all that jazz.
I think he said that last time.
I did say that. I'm gonna say it right now though. That's a shout out to my boy. He's a math professor at University of Pittsburgh. His name's Tan. He say all that jazz. So, yeah, what up, Tan? I know you're listening.
When he says that, it reminds me of his sister. She is a dancer, and she did like a dance this one year. It was the only time I ever got to see the dance. It was like it might have been her senior year in high school. It was like the last dance recital, and I never saw it. And I absolutely loved going to the dance recital. I thought it was so cute to see all the little girls dance. And
I don't even remember this.
I was a dancer. I forgot what it was like. Oh my gosh. I would go to like anyone's dance recital. Like
Just send us
it wasn't
invitations to your
just like
dance recital.
one age group. It was like multiple age groups. It was so adorable. Where did she dance at?
Heinz Hall or something. Carnegie.
No, what was the company called?
No, Dance Time
Dance
in
Time?
Crafton.
Anyway, so it was the song All That Jazz, and she at the end she did a split, and it was like, wow, girl, like you go. Like I was like, it was amazing. She's an amazing dancer, and I am upset that she stopped doing her TikTok dances. I was like obsessed. Like I would look it up on my phone and watch her TikToks.
Yeah.
She's in school now, so and COVID's not over, but the lockdown is over, and she's back in school, so I think that's why. But anyways, every time I hear All That Jazz, I think about her dancing and doing
That's
the
not where that's
split.
from. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. But
All That Jazz. I don't know what he's
you're not
talking
saying it right.
about.
You're not saying it right. All that jazz.
No, I'm talking about the song.
All that jazz. You're talking about all that jazz. I'm talking about all that jazz.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough of that. We're done there. That's
so,
good.
Mark knows way too many quotes of movies and
Holy fuck,
random
where are we
videos.
going?
It's so.
We could do a
What?
whole episode on movie quotes
Okay, it really. Can we get real?
and impressions.
Wait, can we get real for 1 minute? It really bothers me how. Okay, so
Clean up your bloody room.
I'm gonna say it. I wasn't
Jordan
gonna say
Peterson.
it, but we got
This has gone off the rails.
a comment that basically said something.
Oh shit.
I think it was our only comment we've like ever got. It basically said something about how I say like too much. Da da da. If I want to make it in the business world, don't say like too much. Blah blah. I don't know. It's whatever. But I have to say, it really bothers me, Mark, how you. His face got so serious. How you always like. I understand we need to stay on one topic, but do you not realize I have ADD, and.
What? What?
Okay, but that's truly why. I'm not saying it's completely why, but I feel like that's why I say like a lot, because when I'm trying to like talk, like it's like I get distracted.
Has nothing to do with that.
Okay, you don't know my brain. One.
I mean, I've known you for 4 years. It has nothing to do with that.
Okay,
You've said it like a lot in this episode. It's just because you're almost nervous. You're first of all, it's just conditioned within you. Okay, you've come from going to high school, talking with all your girlfriends, like this, like that. It's a thing in our generation, right? It's a thing. I don't do it as much as you, but that doesn't really matter, right? And this is we're going into psychoanalysis here. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is though the ADD. I don't know, like you're not. Maybe you were diagnosed with that or whatever the case may be. But you don't operate as if that is the case. I might have OCD. I might have ADD, but when you're not like actually dysfunctional because of something like that. Not a doctor. Take it with a grain of salt. Whatever. But when you're actually not dysfunctional, you have the power to change that. You just can't snap your fingers and change it, but you could do that. If you focused on not saying those things, if you focused on trying to do that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure I could, but I'm just saying I think that's one of the small reasons I say it a lot. I'm like trying not to say. I
don't think you should give a shit about it.
No, I don't care.
But
I'm just saying I think that's one of the small reasons I do say it a lot. I just say it a lot in general because I feel like I just do. Like it just comes out. It's coming out right now as I'm talking.
It's like an accent.
I'm just being my genuine self. Yes, but what I was going to say, it really bothers me how not always, but just in this episode in particular, you keep saying like, "Oh, you just keep reminding me when we're going." It's good to say we're going off on a tangent because I understand we're straying away from the topic. But like, you're just like, "Oh, you're going this way. Oh, you're going this way. Oh, you're going this way. Oh, you're going this way." Like that is really because of like ADD. Like I'm not like.
I don't think you should blame ADD for that. You don't take medication for it. You're not
I'm
diagnosed
not
with it.
ADD.
I think no.
Oh my god.
I do it too.
That's a thing.
What?
Oh my.
I'm not saying that it's not a thing. I'm saying that I do that as well.
I know,
I've
but
taken things on tangents. I'm just saying, okay, we're kind
yeah,
of
but
going this way. We should probably come back to like what we're actually talking about. You can give
yeah, but
anecdotes. You just have to relate it
that is
back.
a good example of something with people with
I
ADD
would
do. I'm just
I would
saying.
okay, that's fine, but I would not blame ADD for that because you absolutely have the ability to not do that.
I just feel like
And it's not even a
this
problem,
is
so I don't know why we're talking about this.
no, I'm not saying it's a problem, but I just feel like you don't really. It's hard for you to like relate to stuff like that because you don't really understand. And I'm
That's a shitty excuse. Like, what does that even mean? Like,
just like I'm not saying like mental. I'm just saying like mental illnesses and stuff like that. Like I feel like you just don't get. Like I'm not saying like I have ADD and it's so bad, blah blah. I just like notice it sometimes within myself, and I feel like you just don't get that because you are not like that, and you're not informed. I just don't think you're informed. Stuff like that. It's not like I'm blaming ADD. I'm just straight up saying like I did get diagnosed with ADD when I was younger, and I think some of these things might be because of that. I'm not saying I'm not blaming it on ADD. I'm not blaming it on it. I'm just saying it might be because of that.
I have a rebuttal, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh my god. You can't say that on the air and then not say that.
All right, I'll say it. Do you think that it could be that you're at a highly emotional time?
It's over. My period's gone.
Do you think that it could be like a residual,
What does that mean?
like a residual emotion time?
So why? He blames everything on my period.
I mean, it's always convenient
no,
placed
he just
in
thinks his
certain
head
weeks.
is on. Wait, oh my god, this episode is too much. We just talked.
The whole episode has ADD apparently.
We just talked about how we were like we just talked about how we don't argue, and I was just about to say something. I was gonna say, what did you say?
What? The whole
I was
episode
gonna
has
say
ADD?
that your head. You just think that your head is just on. Your head is on so too straight.
I don't
It's
think
on
that at
so-
all.
Well,
I literally think that I have OCD. I just don't fucking like whip out like excuses using it.
I wasn't using an excuse. I was just saying like that is. I've gotten diagnosed with ADD before. I think that might
Why
have
is
something
that?
to do with it.
That was like years ago. Why is that a cop out for
ADD,
what you're
what is it? Attention deficit disorder?
deficit disorder? Yeah,
Deficit
you don't
disorder?
have that. You sit in front of a camera and talk to me for hours on end. You don't have that. Like you don't have it to the degree which that you can like use it as an excuse. Oh, like if you actually had that, then you would literally see a squirrel and you'd have to look at it. Like you'd have to do it. I don't know why we're having this discussion still because this is not pertinent at all. But what I'm saying is that I don't know why I don't know why you even brought that up because it doesn't have anything to do with what you were talking about.
I feel like so many people can have ADD, and I feel like you're acting like it's like a huge thing. Like, not everyone with ADD is going to see a squirrel and react. Like, what?
I don't even know what we're talking
I
about
just
anymore.
feel
I
like-
don't even want to talk about this anymore.
I just feel like you don't understand.
I don't. What is? Give me a point. I don't know what the fuck you're even saying at this point. Go ahead. You can have. Go ahead. Make a point.
I don't know what to say. I don't know why this is.
You started this. Like you brought it in for no reason. I'm so confused as to what we're talking about right now.
I just don't like the way you're reacting. You're reacting to me saying like something was relating to something to me having ADD. I don't like the way you're responding.
What would you like me to say?
I don't know. It's whatever. I feel like we should just.
I tried to end the episode and you brought in the ADD thing.
Yeah, that was.
Like it was unnecessary.
It wasn't supposed to be a big thing.
Great.
It wasn't supposed to be a big thing. It was literally me saying I feel like I say like a lot. It might have to do with me having ADD, and then
And I disagree
I feel
entirely
like
with
when
that.
we jump around and stuff like that, sometimes you say like.
Did that maybe once.
Okay, so maybe it was a little excessive for me to say, it bothers me, Mark, how you say we're, because it's normal for us to get off on a lot of topics, but I kind of felt like when you were saying we were jumping from topic to topic. I kind of felt like you were bothered by me going off on a spiral. So that's why I said that. But, I mean, that's pretty much it.
When you post an episode that says AM and the PM 35 with like 4 words about what the title is, and you post that on YouTube, we don't get a ton of viewership right now. But when you see that as a viewer, as a consumer, okay,
Yeah, I know that's what
you
you're.
want it to be. You wouldn't want to say like how to cut an apple, and then it be like something about like, I don't know, Chinese government, like you know what I'm saying. So there was no problem there. I wasn't bothered by any of it, but we do have to be mutually in agreement that we have to somewhat stay on topic. So when we go super out there, it's like, let's bring it back to a point. And we did that every time. So I'm very confused as to what the issue was there and why you had to bring that up. I don't have a problem with anything. I'm just I was taken aback by that. And I genuinely disagree about your point with ADD. I don't understand it necessarily, I guess, as much as you do, but I also don't like. I don't really understand that. Maybe if you think you have ADD to that degree, maybe you should take medication for it or something. Because I don't know. I don't know where we go from there with that.
That's fine. I feel like
I don't think you should do that, but it seems like
our
that's
viewers will see my side with that, so I'm not worried about that. But I do apologize for going off a little bit on you about the whole tangent thing, because it was just kind of like, I feel like we both agree. We both go off on tangents. It's not a big deal. It's fine. And I understand why we should not go off on too many tangents. But it's just how I talk sometimes. And you talk like that too. But I was just trying to make it known that sometimes I can't help it. I just go back and forth. That's it.
perfect. Are we done now?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Can I sign it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. You can do it. I don't care. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Stop.
All right, everyone. Well, this has been another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark. We thank you all for tuning in, and we look forward to talking to you next time.